Chelsea face Arsenal in our penultimate match in the league before the World Cup. Our most played fixture in league competition comes against Arsenal, this being our 86th meeting since 1907. We've registered 32% win ratio, give or take, in that time, with Arsenal having 38%, just 12 wins more than us out of the total 170 fixtures between the two clubs. Recently, it's not been great for us. At home against the Gunners, with us failing to record a victory at the Bridge since 2018. Arsenal have a chance to make it 3 wins in a row from home against us in the league for the first time since 1974. That's away from home. Whilst our opponents have also won 3 of the last 4 against us in the Premier League. Prior to these games, Chelsea had only lost 2 of the previous 17 against the Gunners, winning 9 and drawing 6, sorry. It's a game that could be detrimental to Arsenal's season, and with City securing the 3 points against Fulham earlier today with a 95th minute Haaland penalty. They will be looking to keep close to City before the break. For us, it's a game that can absolutely keep our top 4 hopes alive coming into the winter break and maybe even challenging for the league in the new year. The top 4 now being incredibly congested. It's a great time to close the gap once again. And what better game to start a new run of form than against an Arsenal side in their best bit of form since God knows when, realistically. Let's think, with 10 wins from their first 12, only one team in the last 10 to have had this form, so 10 wins out of their first 12 in the Premier League. Only one side out of the last 10 to have had this record at this stage have failed to go on to win the league. So it's looking good for Arsenal. But with Man City now top of the league, it's probably the hardest test for a team to have had that run of form, ever, maybe, with Man City being the way that they are. Naturally, but unusually for this fixture over the past recent years, Arsenal come into this as the favourites, which is absolutely based on recent form, of course. When you factor in Arsenal's form away from home to the top 6, it's a little bit sketchy for them. 5 victories in the last 50 away from home against Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, Man United and Tottenham. Home form for us has been good lately. Unbeaten in our last 9, and whilst that's all good, our last defeat came in April at home in the Premier League against Arsenal. Yes, indeed, against Arsenal. Now, for this match in particular, of course, the standout feature is, of course, Aubameyang against his former side, against his former manager, with the history that there is between him and the club and how it went down towards the end of his career there. Let's hope he can cause a stir at the very least. Just at the very least, he needs to have a big involvement in the game, more or less. If he gets a chance, he has to take it. It's as simple as that. We are sorely lacking critical finishers, clinical finishers. And in a game like this, he hits the bar the other day. Those sorts of chances in a game that didn't really matter against Zagreb. But in a game like this, you just get those extra inches lower. That's all it needs to be. He needs to execute those chances perfectly with the magnitude of the occasion, both for him and, of course, mainly for the club. Tactically, it's truly tough to determine what we can expect to see from Potter in any game, to be honest with you. Will he play a back 3 with wing backs? Obviously, the absence of Chilwell makes that position even harder to fill, with only Cucurella the natural option there. AZPI seems to be the first choice, you would think, on the right-hand side, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Ruben Loftus-Cheek start, especially with the speed of Martinelli down their left-hand side. Centre-backs, I fully expect no less than Chalobah, Thiago Silva and Koulibaly. Maybe if we play a back 4, you'd have to put Azpilicueta then, but I'm thinking more so from Potter. We're going to play a back 3, I would think, and I think most people have thought that. So a back 3 of Chalobah, Thiago Silva and Koulibaly. all need to be on top form, of course. I don't want to see any silly, uncharacteristic mistakes from Silva like against Brighton. Like I say, just so out of the blue. I was praising him just moments before for his 2 goal line clearances, and then just like weird mistakes throughout the game, little tiny bits here and there. I don't want to see that again, especially in big games like this. I don't want to see Koulibaly flapping about with his crazy slide tackles and sort of looking a little bit stiff on the ball. Again, he needs to be on form. He needs to come out swinging. Midfield, I see us probably opting for a middle 2 pivot, which is typically what we go for. I'm basically saying we're going to go for the normal formation, realistically, with one exception is what I'm asking for. But Kovacic, Georgie, they will start more or less. Despite how he played, I cannot see Potter starting Zakaria, regardless of how much intensity he brought to the game against Zagreb, albeit it was against Zagreb. And it was one game. It was one game. I am one of those people, and you'll see on the player ratings at Chelsea Fan TV, I made him man of the match. Still stand by it. It was a fantastic performance, but still, it's one game. Personally, I would start him in a middle 3, but then that would kind of discredit everything I was saying. I would go with a 4-3-3 personally, but we're not going to do that. It's going to be a 3-2 or a 5 at the back with 2 being wing backs. But you get what I'm saying. Yeah, ahead of them, I would like to see Mount in the centre. Just see how it goes. Running the attacking mid, playing the balls in centrally as opposed to on the wings. That's not to say that Mount isn't good at doing that, but I just think playing through the middle would be a lot better. But that said, with Partey and Xhaka being so good in the middle, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough everywhere. That said, I reckon it will probably be a single man up front in Aubameyang. It needs to be Aubameyang that starts in this game, with either Mount and Havertz playing behind, or Sterling in for Havertz. Mount will start tomorrow. It just has to happen over Havertz. You can't drop Mount for Sterling and play Sterling and Havertz. After I said this, probably will happen. Of course, major factors to consider in this game is stopping Arsenal scoring in the first 30 minutes of the game. They've scored 11 so far in the opening half hour, more than any club so far this season. Again, down the left-hand side will be the tricky part, especially with AZPI potentially starting. I just don't see him faring too well against Martinelli for the full 90 minutes. Xhaka and Partey, as I said earlier on, need to be closed down as well. Make our presence known throughout, especially early on. I feel like we tend to let the game slip early on. And just small things. If we concede, can we be like every other team that we've ever faced against, this season? For the most part, when we score, we just seem to concede within 5 minutes most of the time. Yeah, I'm nervous. I'm so nervous, but I'm excited. So my prediction for this matchup, I think I'm more excited than I am nervous. They're excitable nerves. They're not what's going to happen kind of nerves. Oh, it's a little bit of that as well, but still. Of course, get your predictions in the comments as well. I'm going for a 2-1 Chelsea. I think we've had a bad run of form as of late in the league, and the beginning of a new run couldn't come at a better time. A win here, then on to Newcastle. It would set up the return of the Premier League in the New Year's perfectly. It isn't going to be easy, and at times, we are going to get bombarded. They are a young side. They are full of energy. A very, very attacking side. But if we hold out all the basic shit, sounds like I'm just, saying all of the keywords that most football people would say, but still keep certain players at bay. If we can keep Martinelli quiet, we can keep Odegaard quiet, Jesus, and whether or not Saka's going to be playing, it's just players in particular, keep certain players at bay and convert our chances, which we're sorely lacking in doing so lately. I think we can get a result if I think defensively, we'll be sound. But in attack, it just needs to be the full ticket. It needs to be the full shebang. You know what I mean? Like, it needs to be just on point in a game like this. With that said, thank you so much for watching. Please do like the video if you enjoyed. Again, get your predictions in the comments. Let me know how you feel about the game. Are you nervous? Are you excited? Are you thinking the worst? Are you thinking the best? Let me know. Obviously, subscribe, hit the bell notification to be notified of any future content on the channel. And a quick reminder that I will be hosting the live watch along on Chelsea Fan TV. Live stream starts at 11:30 UK time, and obviously kickoffs at 12 UK time. So, drop in, say hello. It's going to be an intense one. Just get yourself ready. It's going to be a big game. Big game vibes. Biggest game of the season so far. And with that said, my name's Harry. Up the Chelsea. And peace.